Hello, all, and welcome to The Golden Thread, a live theater experience from the comfort of your own home. These are some crazy times that we're living in right now. Everyone is coping in their own ways, but for some of us whose lives and livelihoods depend on the arts and, live theater experiences, it's important that we are sticking together in these times and finding light in the darkness. That is why we are bringing you this kind of live experience where we are able to support artists and bring you the kind of entertainment that you are used to seeing in theaters. So, starting us out, we have Michelle Dodson and Eli Lara. Michelle Dodson is a cellist of 14 years. She's passionate in showcasing a broad range of style and beauty as she creates her art. Live painting to Michelle's music is Eli Lara, an interdisciplinary visual artist who captures emotion and movement as he aims to reveal the psyche of the subject and observer. So, everyone, please get ready for Eli Lara and Michelle Dodson. And whenever you guys are ready to start, there you go.
just went out of tune. So why don't we give Eli a little chance to introduce himself while I tune my string.
That sounded amazing. Thank you, Michelle. Even with the string, I'm just doing little warm-ups over here. I actually sort of like this one. I didn't really like this first one. No, it was okay, actually. I love that Kip is trying to come help you play too. And a little warm up of myself as well. Hope you guys are all doing great today. Staying healthy, staying creative. I wish I could see you guys so I could draw you guys too.
Wow, that was kind of nightmarish. All right, thanks for that, Eli.
Of course.
Seattle a couple years ago, maybe about 2 years ago. My cello was made in Chicago, so I would love to chalk it up to the fact that it doesn't like Seattle weather very much. It's having a little bit of a hissy fit today, so thank you for bearing with me. So all of these suites and movements that I'm playing today are from my album that I just released on Spotify. It's the Bach's third major suite that I'm playing right now. Yes, Eli knows all about the suites. I talk to him nonstop about Bach. So this is his third suite in C major, and I'm going to be playing the Courant right now. And it's a dance movement, so go ahead and dance if you're feeling fancy today. Eli's got the right idea. All right. So that was Bach's third suite. And I think Sebastian's gonna take it from here. I'll see you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Michelle, for that beautiful music. And thank you, Eli, too. Some of Eli's paintings will be available, I believe he'll be showing some of them at the end. And they will also be going live for auction within the next 24 hours or so. You'll get an email when the auction is live. All right, so moving right into our next act, we have Pamela Hobart Carter. She is a poet and playwright, and as well as an educator. And we will later be hearing two of her plays read by two brilliant actors. But now, poetry from Pam.
Hi, everybody. This first poem I wrote in 2011, and I read it recently and thought it could be about today. Spring rends hearts. Desperate, we contrive color worlds in the celebratory time when hyacinths emit heady spells. Gardens call us out to dig and sort, mow and plow, decorate and hope. When the hummingbird, our Napoleon of the branches, sits on the tiniest twig at the uttermost top of the catalpa and commands crows with his unpretty hissy pish, when nurses and surgeons in powder blue lurk and smoke, deliver no cures, only cirrus wisps into the damp air laden with roasted berry fumes, and when dogs, more plentiful than children, draw their humans onto sycamore and pear-lined avenues east to remind us we live next to next, hounds and flowers to shower with love and to love us because our hearts are broken. That was about my old neighborhood of Capitol Hill in Seattle. This poem, Commonplace Epiphanies, is a riff on a Facebook post by my friend Paul Mullen. Commonplace Epiphanies. While you nap, the world as you know it pulses, not as a heart, but in the way of celestial bodies, jingling according to private sheet music. It seems when you wake, a whole new sphere chimes around you. You recognize this home. It isn't a mirage or a prior century. No minstrel sings below your castle wall. None of your friends notice how altered you are since last reckoning. You consider that the changes may be your own, something interior and of nearly invisible dimension. Or perhaps you and the earth mutated synchronously. While sleeping, you lived in a forlorn kingdom of velvet and silver and lost jewels. A troubadour did serenade you, or was an owl asking if it were alone? Most of us doubt the individual's power to transform, and yet this planet and you and I have been at least 7 characters apiece since yesterday at noon. This is another you and I poem. Maybe we will sit in the breeze, maybe. We will drink iced tea, maybe with mint, flowers expended, its stalks a bit stiff, picked from your bed. You will stretch out on the bench, cushioned, Oh, I'll relax on the wicker love seat. A cardinal will present at the bird bath in the shade. A woodpecker will drill a nearby tree. You and I, the mint and all, a universe of love for living in this world. Even if you are very old and talk mostly of feeders and level of seed and endless play-by-play of the visits of hungry birds. May we choose joy at the drama of bossy jays, the quickness of house finches, the prevalence of sparrows. May we be at ease, I and you. That one's a sonnet, by the way, which you can't really tell while I'm reading it. Hiking to Red Pass. I love seeing Eli's stuff. I have to, I have to break to say that. So much fun, Eli. Hiking to Red Pass. Late summer, almost fall. It's like finding my childhood tucked under the cedars. I remember lazing on hot stone, watching ants. For the first time in a long time, I feel safe. Now I know the old granite wall always waits for my remembering, somewhere at my physical center, available, with you on this hike, or even sitting at my city desk, scrounging for perfection, clicking sites for research, rechecking spelling and links, as if these secure a famous future, where you hear me and everyone gathers to listen to my wisdom, because of course I did find it on the trail to Red Pass. And again, just messing with WordPress and Pinterest. The past is contained in our dark insides, coded in chemicals which replace daily. Somehow they flow the known channels, the way sentences store a truth even if unwritten. All day, anywhere, I can dive back to then. At the pass, we gaze north and south. We see into spaces where time is slow to round mountains. This poem's pretty new. Preferring company of strangers to desolate roads. Things seem random, like bunched headlights on the interstate, clustered, iron filings to a magnet. But people drive this way, attracted to each other, and cause slowdowns with their need for togetherness. Sometimes when we perceive pattern out of our desire to attribute meaning, it actually exists, and we guess badly about reasons, road conditions and weather never playing a part. So attached to what we believe we see, our stories feature slick pavement and poor visibility, rather than a truth about loneliness. This poem's pretty recent too. It's After Incipience by Adrienne Rich. Sown. To breathe, to sleep below a safe roof, while flame dances across forests, through nights when much is done to stem all dreams, to parry the heat and fuel that waits for ignition, molecules of ash invisible, to numb the aching burn of every limb in the land. Much will be sown. Much will be sown. Compose yourself, measure by measure, note by note. Study the flicker of feathers in your backyard. Count starlings, allowing visits of small yellow birds before taking their tastes of abundance presented, this garden, this feast. That one's for my friend Bronwyn Edwards. And this one is very new. Enter the Sun. The sun today enters this room. After the sun sets, we enter dreams, tables at which women eat of banquet fare. One guest is told to wait outside the elegance. She stands in the hall in dim beige light and watches the parade of plates laid before her friends. When everyone else is fed, she resumes her place. Servers bring her in succession the 5 courses, but begin with dessert, a chocolate mousse. Each dish is whisked away before she finishes. When she wakes, she lets the sun enter the room and considers her dream. It must connect to current events, her brain struggling during sleep to do what it could not in her active hours. This patience required, a meal untouchable, the forced isolation, facets so logical, she determines she understands what befell her at night. She is wrong. She is so often wrong. She is wrong about the workings of synapses. She is wrong about the day, and she is wrong about how sun enters a room, that the sun holds itself outside until asked to enter. No, until given a way in. This poem is inspired by the art of Joan Kirkman, and it was exhibited at the Museum of Northwest Art in La Conner in 2019. It's after Ursula K. Le Guin, Mother Color. Mother color, omnipresent, multitudinous, descanting across canvases in upswelling umbers, ambers, ochres, roar of iris indigos, mimic of Kandinsky pinks and greens, enchantment of Chartreuse ruses, and minor scales of royal blues. Surround us, synchronize us with your immeasurable emissions to hum, to hear, to harmonize, to respect all prisms in our eyes. This is my last one. This is also new. Where we are. Here we are. Saying it makes it so. Here we are in the forest. An owl sounds. Notice the conifer needles at our feet? But we are not. The trees surround only a space inside our skulls when we speak or write the words or think them to ourselves. Some days a piece of music carries us to a far cloud while we calmly sit in the straight back chairs of a concert hall. Or a young person dressed in elfin garb convinces us from her stage that we are present together on an island. But we are not. We are in the same earth ether, and we are not in the same ether. We are on that magic map with Caliban, and we are in row VV on the right. For some moments, we were at the first performance we ever saw of The Tempest, teenagers taken by our parents. We see again the set, barren of everything but a big rock on which Miranda plunks herself to watch Ferdinand at work. But we are in the theater in a different town, and we have gray hair. We are in the same time zone with a playwright long, long buried. Where are we? We are here within this word, all of us in this word, right here. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Pam. That was wonderful. All right, and next we will have more work from Pam. We are going to have 2 different plays read tonight. The first one, which will be read now, and the next one, which will be read after intermission. So the first one will be read, both plays will be read by our actors, Alexandra Variano and Kevin Finney. Alexandra Variano is a Seattle-based actor and artist. She recently graduated from Cornish College of the Arts and has been working on her own creative projects as well as collaborative projects, and has a keen vision of bringing forth women's suppressed and untold stories to cultural consciousness. And reading with her will be Kevin Finney. Kevin has taken part in several professional productions on stage and in film. And he was the he was also the impresario of the late and lamented Drunken Owl Theater, where he gave many actors and playwrights a space to express their creativity. All right, so the play we will be reading first is called Blacked Out. It is by Pam, and here we go. We're gonna give our actors a moment as sort of the curtain rise before we get going. So let's give ourselves a minute. Thank you.
Sebastian, you're going to read the characters and the setting, right?
I am. Thank you. All right. Blacked Out by Pamela Hobart Carter. Characters: Jack Burden, 48. Paula Burden, 45. Time: evening during a storm and blackout. Paula's kitchen. At rise, we are plunged in darkness and remain so. Sounds of a scuffle, a thump.
Oh, what the hell? Paula, it's me.
Jack? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt you?
You slammed me with... What was that?
The skillet?
You didn't have to strike with that much vigor, you know. I think I'm bleeding.
Of course I'm going to whack an intruder in the dark.
I always said you were strong as an ox, Paula.
What are you doing here? I thought you were some thug.
Can you look at my head?
I can't find my candles or a flashlight. I guess we'll have to look at your head when the lights come on. Does it feel better now?
No, you smashed it with a frying pan. If you had a flashlight, my head would be in one piece. Everyone else in the world stashes emergency supplies, except you. And you grew up around here.
What's that supposed to mean?
You've become disconnected.
I'm disconnected.
From nature, from likelihood.
A window rattles in the rain.
I guess I just get caught up in each day.
You guess. You mean you lapse into routines, collapse into routines. Let's hear it for the American short-term Band-Aid approach.
It's not fair. All that planning for things that don't necessarily happen, that gets very tiring. What kind of person can live with the enormous events in front of their noses all the time? Imagine even trying to grocery shop with potential horrors constantly looming in your mind. It can't be good for you. It's got to be exhausting and paralyzing. What about awareness of the moment? What about living fully?
I was only asking for a candle, Paula.
You have to be somewhere. Be my guest. Look around.
Look.
Figure of speech. Feel about if you like, Mr. Literal.
Jack stands, moves in an exploratory way.
What are you doing here? Weren't you even a little worried barging in unannounced? And what about a key?
It came in through the garage. You still don't lock it. These snows happen. I can't believe you don't have candles, say, in your everything drawer.
I started there. No, Jack, tell me what...
A log in your fireplace that I could light? Some old papers? You must have something you can burn.
I do, but the fireplace is all show now. There was some problem after the earthquake. You just walked in, no knock.
The oven's gas?
Electric, remember? The flat glass burners you hate? Put your hand on them when they're still hot. I think you just like the caveman feel of working over a flame.
The caveman would be better off than you are right now.
So what if it's dark for a few hours? The kids deal better. They love blackouts. Chow on everything before it goes bad. Be eating fiesta.
Where are the kids?
At school overnight. The roads are so bad.
Eating fiesta?
Help yourself to the pantry. I'm sure you remember the way.
Jack exits with some fumbling and bumping.
God, what a baby.
Jack returns, crinkles a bag, sets it down on table. Grunts over opening a lid, pops the top, sets jar down, fumbles for a chair, sits.
Thanks.
See, I have food.
I acknowledge a degree of forethought there. You could probably live off your pantry provisions for several weeks. You'd have to control yourself, calculate how many calories for each day before you think that help would come, or wiser yet, calculate survival rations, make fair allotments for everyone in your house.
Supposing those in the house during said emergency had not been invited.
I've been eating jam and chips.
A new combination. How is it?
Not bad when you can't see it.
I'm not gonna find the salsa? I do have some.
Like you have candles.
Wait, I know where they are.
Paula crosses the room, rummages in a drawer.
Ha! Jack, do you have a lighter?
You think I have a lighter and I didn't use it to search around for the candles?
Only asking. My memory just kicked in. You always used to carry a lighter.
Ah. I have a lighter.
Boy Scout, prepared in spite of yourself.
I got style, baby.
Paula gives Jack candles. He stands, lights them. In glow, we see Jack, gaunt, filthy, unkept, with bloodied forehead, scruffy facial hair, long, stringy graying beard, tattered shirt and jeans, heavy scuffed boots, ratty, moth-eaten jacket, and Paula, small, neat, lithe, in bikini and rubber boots. They gape at each other.
Don't you ever wash?
Don't you ever dress?
You know I like to clean the shower this way.
Trust groovy Paula to turn house cleaning into a sensual experience.
Jack drips wax into an ashtray, inserts candles.
Ashtray. Don't tell me you're smoking again. Mindfully destroying your lungs. You look good, Paula.
Thanks. You look terrible.
Paula finds, dampens a cloth, wipes his blood away.
You haven't been taking care of yourself, have you?
That's a pretty personal question.
Never mind. It's just
It's just that you see me as having it all together.
things seem to have changed. I just want to know that you're okay.
It's a long story.
Isn't storytelling what blackouts are all about?
Paula kicks off boots and sits.
I was watching a movie in the 1980 blackout in Manhattan. Suddenly, it shrank to nothing. The theater was below street level, completely dark. Folks led us out to the street with their lighters. I started carrying a lighter after that.
I can't believe you never told me that story before. Better equipped than half the smokers I knew. But I always liked asking strangers for a light.
Yes, you did.
You could have called or knocked.
I didn't think you were home.
So you do a little reconnaissance on the place to decide whether or not to knock? Where are you staying these days, Jack?
That's a pretty personal question.
Should I be calling the police or making up the bed in the spare room?
She
Don't
picks up a throw laying over the back of the chair and wraps herself in it.
don't call the police, Paula.
You're serious?
There may be a warrant. Sorry.
Paula, pulling as far away as possible while still sitting on the chair.
What's it for?
A mistake.
What kind of mistake?
Yours.
Mine? How'd I manage that? I haven't laid eyes on you in years.
26 months.
Honey, you need help. What was it? What did you do, Jack?
Honey. I could have a little bread with honey. Too bad we can't make tea or crumpets. I can't eat this now that you can see it.
I think you'd better tell me.
Maybe we could toast marshmallows over the flame. That might satisfy my craving for caramelization. That's what I miss most, the warm, golden foods. I miss warm food in general. It's an argument for getting a 7-Eleven around here. The town planners should be taken to task for ignoring the possibility that some constituents have different philosophies, different styles of living. Not everyone's a farmer's market cook from scratch type. We might not go around hugging trees, but that doesn't mean we're evil. A 7-Eleven is just what our neighborhood needs.
What do you mean, our neighborhood? You took off 2 years ago. Have you moved back? You didn't tell me. I haven't seen you.
Well, it's been dark.
I don't mean today.
Nor do I, honey.
Jack, what have you been doing?
You might say that I've enforced a little communism on my friends.
Where have you been living, Jack?
So much space for so few people. It's very wasteful. So many tools for so few people, so much duplication, such poor planning. This emphasis on the individual and self-gratification results only in overflowing landfills and massacred old growth. Ceaseless consumptions of energy, whereas with my approach, materials are well used. Space is well used. That lesson from kindergarten. We can share everything.
We, you and I, or we the people?
At present, you and I.
How long have you been living in my garage?
Honey, even when I hated you, I always thought that you were brilliant.
Paula leans forward, blows out candles, throws them. She stands, starts to run for it. Jack grabs her. They huff and struggle. Jack lights lighter with one hand.
Be smart yourself, Jack. Make sure this ends well.
Oh, I like the concept of happy endings as much as the next person, Paula. We have differing notions about effective ways of arriving at happiness. Mine does not involve police. Mine includes food, shelter, kindness.
Kindness.
Paula smacks the lighter from his hand, kicks him in the shin and runs.
Ah, that was my leg. Yes, kindness and understanding.
My kindness and my understanding, you mean? Kindness and understanding from others for you mean? Hypocrite. Amnesiac. At least I remember why we got divorced. I need specifics, Jack. What do you think I have done? What do I need to understand? How do I come in?
Jack limps around table, circles and circles back. Paula moves to get away from him.
Kindness never conditions itself. It is given freely. Kindness stems from the desire to rid the world, fellow life forms, of suffering. Kindness doesn't ask for proofs of worthiness. Kindness only asks for proof of need, for proof of life. All you need to understand is that I need you.
In what capacity?
Paula darts from her spot as soon as she has spoken.
Kindness can be anonymous. Communism is full of anonymous kindness.
I think anonymity is a bad idea for me right now, Jack. I can get you help. You have to let me get you some help.
Lights up. Paula and Jack take a moment to look around and at each other.
You don't need to go anywhere. You can give me help yourself, Paula. This life of yours is so distanced from truth and future and reality that you don't see what is right in front of you to give. You have more in this room alone than most humans will see in a lifetime. I need for you to connect, to own up, to claim full responsibility for the hurts you have caused. You're out in the boonies for the beauty of nature, and yet you have no means of support without this artificially supplied superstructure. You don't connect to the earth, to the season, to clarity. You're wearing a bikini in the middle of a snowstorm, for God's sakes. Honey, I just need a place to stay for a short time. It's not murder or rape.
Paula sits.
A little enforced communism?
I took up covert residence at the hospital after you sold my future, our business. They noticed the inventory changes faster than you.
You've been stealing from my larder. I thought the kids were revving up for a growth spurt. I guess you don't count this as kindness when it's unwitting? You blame me?
I blame you for your choice to stay so square on the map, for never risking.
I was not a soloist. I had the kids. You have no right to criticize my choices, Jack. But what happened to all your cautious preparations for every contingency?
They came to be exhausting and paralyzing.
Yes. I see that now.
The snow was drifting under the garage door.
I see.
I need to reevaluate the direction I've taken.
Kids will like to see you, Jack. You know, I'd pretty much finished cleaning the tile when the blackout hit. Would you care for a shower?
That would be most kind.
The end. Okay, thank you very much, Alexandra and Kevin. So, before we move into intermission, I thought I'd give a little bit of information on the intermission and what comes after it. So, during the intermission, we're going to have 10 minutes where we're going to have some visual poetry on the screen that's going to repeat for the full 10 minutes. In that time, please feel free to stretch and, you know, get a little snack, get into your comfies if you're all dressed up. If not, you know, get yourself ready for another full act of wondrous, splendorous art. All right, so the art we will be seeing, the poetry, the visual poetry we will be seeing is by Kymberlee, della Luce. They are an interdisciplinary artist who uses art for transpersonal healing. These videos, the COVID diaries, are for this purpose. So without further ado, please enjoy your 10-minute intermission and enjoy these pieces of art. Thank you all. Hey party people, I'm back for a moment. I'm just letting you know that we're having a few technical difficulties getting the audio to work on the screen sharing. Not sure why, but we're getting it worked out. But for the time being, just, yeah, stretch and get your muscles moving and your body grooving. And I personally would get a snack right now. I'm not probably going to do that since I have to be back on in just a few minutes, but it is what it is. We are trying to get this all figured out. Hopefully it'll work. We're getting there. But hang tight. And oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sebastian Variano, and I am an artist and an actor in Seattle. And I'm 17 years old. That's basically all you really need to know. And I am your MC. So now that we've gotten past this very late introduction, I hope you're all having a wonderful time. And I think take a minute to let yourself breathe and stretch. I know I'm going to. Love y'all.
Feeling gold thread that connects us. Our beautiful community, languishing in the dim light, struggling. Needing love, giving love. Our plans scattered like cherry blossoms. We find untapped strength as we make our joyful noise together. protected by our awareness, fed by the power of softness. We listen to the wild heart, our ancestors calling us together to seek something deeper, to find each other, see compassion of ourselves, our emotions, each other, exploring interconnection, feeding the fire of transformation through cooperation. Are the wild heart, roots woven in unbound darkness, golden threads holding things together, a reflection divine in our messy humanity, hope unfurling with new growth. Empty streets await our joyful return while we breathe together. If I could trace a line from me to you, I would use my fingers and let them graze along the surface of everything, exploring the sensual pleasures of smooth pebble, moist soil, the texture of the oldest tree, and the softness of sweet spring grass. I look slowly, letting my fingers linger on the little curves, the peaks and valleys, delighting the way all of it brings new sensations to my body. I would close my eyes and breathe. When I finally arrived, I would linger in the soft embrace of your eyes for a long time. And from 6 feet away, there would be no words, just me offering you the fullness of my heart and all the pleasures of the journey. I'm walking in the sunlight, wishing you were here next to me, wishing somebody would look at me, wishing this was all over. Maybe we could laugh together, hold hands, kiss in the moonlight, or dance in a circle together, arm in arm, hand in hand, heart to heart. Soon enough, there will be.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for a little bit of wonky, for tolerating the wonkiness there. This is Kymberlee, and we had some audio issues, but thanks for that. I just wanted to say thanks for bearing with me and for being here. And I'm just going to turn this back over to Sebastian.
Great, thank you so much. All right, so let's get a little warmed up. It's a joke, I know. Oh, I heard a good one yesterday. It was how does it go? It's about the coronavirus. You wouldn't get it. What a knee slapper that one is. Oh, you probably wouldn't get it. That's actually of course, screwed up. It's all right. All right. We're going good. What's another fun fact? Oh, a group of pugs is called a grumble. It's kind of cute. Not gonna lie, kind of cute. Just like, how a group of crows is called a murder of crows, like a flock or whatever, called a murder of crows. So it's like, a group of pugs. I'm pretty sure it's pugs. It's called a grumble. I don't know why it's specifically pugs, but it's all good. I don't know if this one was a joke or not, but a group of gorillas is called a band. All right. Okay, so next up we have yet another play, Pam, and read by the same two wonderful actors, and stage directions read by me. Obviously, I'm pretty fantastic too. So, anyway, all right. The next play we're going to be reading is called "Cry" by Pamela Carter, and we're going to give a moment to let our actors and myself get ready. So.
I'm ready.
Me too.
Cry by Pamela Hobart Carter. Characters: Gil, an actor, a man. Alyssa, a critic, a woman. Time, pretty soon. Place, a fringe of the theater. And a quote from Fleabag by Phoebe Waller-Bridge: "I just want to cry all the time." At Rise, Gil, dressed in pajamas, hunched on the floor, and stuffed animal weeps on a stage featuring a child's bedroom. A bed, chair, rug, lamp, etc. A satchel in the corner. The light is low and not theatrical. Gil's crying goes through phases: silent, noisy, desperate. Seen by Gil, Alyssa enters. She's dressed in slacks and a button-down. Alyssa watches him cry. Regaining control, hiccupy, sniffly, Gil hunts around himself, locates tissues, wipes eyes and blows nose, startles to see Alyssa.
I've never liked when an adult is cast in the role of a child.
I'm convincing.
Too many people see it as a joke.
Who?
People.
You mean you?
It trivializes the material.
That's the last thing I do.
You're talking intention, what you mean to do. I'm talking achievement, what you actually do. Your size, your voice, your movements.
You really dislike me, don't you, Alyssa?
Adults cast in child roles turn scripts farcical. I'm being honest about an aspect of theater. That's my role.
Then be honest. You don't like me, do you?
This isn't about whether I like you. This is about how a child is presented in a story.
You don't like how I present the child in the story.
Not you specifically. You plural you. I wouldn't like how any adult dealt with this role. Thompson should have found a child.
Found a child. You make it sound as if they're available at the shelter alongside the pit bulls.
Actors come in all shapes and sizes, Gil. There are piles of children around. You were a choice. You know it. I'd prefer if the child were presented as a child. That would be my...
It's not fair to say not you specifically when I'm the man in front of you who's cast as a child.
Gil, I like you fine.
You're unconvincing, Alyssa.
I'm not the actor. Anyway, I did think that crying just now was convincing. As the child, what's his name? Danny, being distraught.
Thanks.
Gil, the gratitude is not convincing.
Why would I be? There's no show. I wasn't rehearsing.
Oh.
I thought I had the place to myself.
Oh, excuse me.
She moves to leave.
You don't have to go. You have as much right to be here, I guess.
I do.
No?
The show's closed. I shouldn't be here at all.
Yeah, well, nor should I. But the door wasn't locked.
Right. I just missed being here.
I get it. Me too.
At first, I only walked by and looked in the window.
Come here. Sit.
Alyssa approaches slowly.
A good 6 feet away.
I promise not to shake hands.
Good, because you're still holding that gross tissue. You haven't washed your hands since blowing your nose.
Gil stands, advances towards Alyssa. Alyssa dodges one way. Gil dodges the same way.
I'm just trying to get past
Alyssa
you.
and Gil dodge the same direction again. They laugh, dodge, and laugh. Their movements shift from coincidental, same direction dodges into their recognition that they are dancing. They sustain the appropriate social distance throughout. They dodge the same way on purpose, never touching. They circle each other, stop, laugh, reverse direction. They insert arm movements, improvisation, and head nods, as if hearing the same music in the silent theater. They laugh, they freeze. Alyssa bows, Gil curtsies. Gil circumnavigates Alyssa. He arrives at the wastebasket behind her and tosses the tissue. From a satchel at the corner of the stage, he pulls a hand sanitizer pump and uses it. Meticulously wipes off the pump with a fresh tissue full of sanitizer.
Want some?
Really? You're sharing your rationed resources with the enemy?
The enemy? I wasn't aware that
I
you
was
were...
talking about me not liking you.
You don't like me, but I like you. I'd share with you even if I didn't like you. I'm that kind of guy.
That was convincing. Convincingly nice.
So, have a little.
Thank you. The door handle, I forgot it still. I had my gloves on for the outer door, then I took them off inside.
Gil places hand sanitizer within Alyssa's reach.
Yep.
Really, I'm sorry to barge in on you in here.
She pumps sanitizer, rubs it in.
I've been behaving like the enemy, arguing about casting, for goodness sake. I think I react against an adult person intended to convey a small, vulnerable one. It's jarring. That's my weakness, my problem to fix, not yours. Or Thompson's. After all these years on the time staff, you'd think I'd be better at leaping into imaginary places you actors live in. Even see the casting against type as a way of helping me enter your imaginary worlds. Because things are not what they look like. A man being a child is like saying, pay attention to the messages and behavior. Pay attention to the language. Pay attention to the clues of the set. What do these things symbolize? Beware, now you are entering a world of the mind.
Alyssa goes through the same careful sanitizing with a fresh tissue.
You were very good, Gil. Childlike. I caught a rehearsal.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to say I'm sorry. I sort of thought I had the right to be here because I miss it. But it's your house, it's not mine. You've made this is sort of home. This is a sort of home, isn't it? You have more right to be here. I, as a critic, play guest in your home. You do ask me over a lot, so I'm like the neighbor who doesn't knock. Also, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. What you were doing, it's as if I gate crashed what I thought was a wedding or maybe something quiet like a book group, and it was actually a funeral. The crying was magnificent, Gil. I almost clapped. Almost clapped. Thank goodness I didn't clap for your... Gil, what is actually wrong?
Alyssa.
Oh, I know, everything is wrong. I don't mean... Everyone knows. Everyone worked so hard on this show. All the shows. So much time, effort, skill, funds. The loss of income, the loss of regular life. The flatness of being without the social interaction of this very gregarious life you've picked. Everyone knows is experiencing equivalents of words. I mean, specifically, what's wrong? Money's okay.
Yeah, my day job keeps chugging along, all of us in our separate hideouts. Makes me nuts how many are losing it. Not as lucky as me with paychecks. You, the paper can't pay you for.
Obviously, I'm not reviewing. They put me on the economy after the major panic day.
Yeah, even the uninvested thought that was especially scary.
I'm learning a lot. You should get a money market account, Gil. It takes less than you think. Read my column. But this, what was this that I came in on?
Life.
Life?
This life, at this time, on this planet, of course, and life in general, at any time on this planet.
The overwhelmingness?
Yes, the terrifying and the gorgeous, the dirt and the sky, the past and the next.
Hence coming to be here, to be Danny, to wear the pajamas, to hold the, what is that?
He hugs the stuffed animal closer.
A soft being.
Because when you play the little boy crying in his room in his pajamas,
Holding his
playing a
stuffed
soft
animal.
being, you can cry.
I can cry.
I take back everything I said about adults cast as children.
I can tell you like me.
Yes. You want to cry more?
Yeah.
Gil, can I stay?
You don't need to ask permission.
I've never acted.
Oh, and they hired you as a theater critic.
I mean, I don't know how to start because I want to cry, but
I know how. Hold on.
He runs off. Alyssa sits. Spot comes up on her. She squints at the light. Gil returns. He moves the wastebasket to a point 3 feet from Alyssa. He sits 6 feet away from her. He equips himself with the tissues, slides the box to her. They cry. End. Ooh, that was beautiful. Again, that was written by Pamela Hobart Carter. Pam, thank you so much for contributing your art to this wonderful event. And thank you, Alexandra and Kevin, for beautiful performances. It's amazing to me how we can bring art to people's lives, even though we can't be on stage and be in audiences. It's pretty magical. All right. Let's see. Well, first of all, let's just take a second to, I need to like find a tissue or something, man. Okay. So next we will be having more music from Michelle and more live painting from Eli. And I think whenever they are ready, they can come on. Oh, we're going to be having an artist talk back after the music, and we are going to have there's the space. I believe you can either, if you open the live video on YouTube Live, you can put your questions there in the chat box, or you can put them on the webpage for the event. Either way, we will try to get to your questions and any questions you want. Well, you know, with the basic boundaries, but yeah. So, and Eli, if you want to talk a little bit about your live auction that's going to be happening and where the money's going to when you come back on, before we start the music, or if you want to just do it at the end, that would be great. All right, so thank you all for joining us in these times. It's pretty wonderful that we're able to bring these people together. And thank you all for staying home and staying healthy if you can. That's wonderful. Thank you to all of the people who aren't able to stay home, who are going out and continuing to be in the world amidst all of this crazy and the danger that they're putting themselves into. Thank you to every single one of you, and thank you to all the people who are staying home and staying healthy. All right, Eli and Michelle, are you ready?
I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Yeah, here, can I share this quick drawing of Sebastian that I did? I really like that suit. Looking
Thank
good.
you. That is awesome. Thank you so much. I love it.
Of course, yeah, I did a bunch of them, so I'll go through and show them all to the camera afterward.
Great. Do you want to talk about the auction and everything after this, or at the end?
Yeah, either way.
Great. All right. Whenever you guys are ready, go for it.
Michello.
second suite from Bach's Cello Suites in D minor. It is a little bit like darker content. It's sadder. This is my dog Kipper, by the way. He's 10 months old, so he's being a little rowdy tonight. Please excuse him. Hi, baby. So this is the Allemande from Bach's Suite in D minor. supportive with the small snaps. I appreciate that. Trying to see how timing is. You guys think I have time for a couple more? One more? Okay, guys. Well, I guess I kind of have to do like the big popular one that everyone knows, right? This is Bach's Prelude to the First Suite. Eli's favorite, no doubt. All right, y'all.
Thank you. Okay. So, thank you all so much for joining us on this lovely evening in. We have, please make sure to check out the program, which is on the same page as where you're watching the video. And there's information to find all of the artists who are who were a part of this event, and how to find out more about their work, how to find how to send them some money. As we know, there are a lot of artists who don't have any source of income right now, besides, maybe a side job, but even those are getting, a lot of people are getting laid off. So it's so helpful. Anything helps. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. And so now we'll have a little bit of a talk back from the artists. We're going to get everybody on here, I believe, and we're going to answer some questions. Feel free to keep sending in questions on the page. And yeah, I think we're bringing people back.
Stop and restart.
Wow.
There we go.
All right. That's everyone. Great. No, yes, that is. Okay. Sorry. All right. So we have a few questions already. We have, first of all, can everyone please introduce themselves? I know I gave a little bit of an introduction, but it would be great to if you would introduce yourselves and what you do, and whatever. If you want to put in a little fun fact about yourself, feel free. So yeah, go ahead. Oh, let's start with Eli. Sorry, just free for all.
Hi, I'm Eli Lara. I sketch and paint live. I did maybe 30 of them here, probably like 20 tonight. I'll go through and show y'all all those sketches. You can follow my Instagram if you want to. It's Eli Not Lara, ELINOTLARA. I love soccer.
Do you want to go, Kevin?
Sure. My name's Kevin Finney. My first career was acting, and my day job is teaching.
Let's go to Pam.
I'm Pam Carter, and sort of a flip of Kevin's. I used to be a teacher, and I started writing plays and poems on the side, and a few years ago I decided to see what it'd be like to do the writing full time and teach now a little bit on the side. And Kevin and I met through his creation, Drunken Owl Theater, which was just this lovely happening that combined plays and musical performance and spoken word, and that just wonderful things, and reminds me a little bit of tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Michelle?
Hey, I'm Michelle. I'm a professional cellist in the area, Seattle being the area. And let's see, I studied music in Chicago, and I moved here right after graduating, and I've fallen in love with this city. I think I'll stay here for a while. Anything else you want me to say? Just starting off my career now.
That's great, thank you. And Alexandra?
I'm Alexandra. I'm an actor and artist in Seattle. I graduated from Cornish College of the Arts a couple of years ago. I'm just living that life of recent graduate, trying to make my way.
Great, thank you. All right, so let's go. We have a few questions. We have, so from, oh, we have, like, these are questions and comments. So Polly said, how fun was that? Thank you for putting it together, especially that talented Pam Carter.
That's my
Now
sister.
to that.
Thank you, sister.
We have from Bruce, Pam, I loved your plays. Can you tell us what was in your head that led you to write the first play? The second one too, but I can guess better for that one.
The first one, hi Bruce, I wrote some years ago, and I started out by wanting to write a play that took place in the dark, and then I thought I wanted to have something where the person who was doing the lights would have fun, to have this variety of situations. So I wanted like the lighter and the candles, and then the lights on at the end, and that was part of it. And the other part, of course, in terms of the relationship content, I'm not sure if I can remember the whole thread of it, but a lot of it came from the idea of how much extra we have, and ways of being together that made a different kind of sense. I also had a roommate once, well, housemate, who cleaned the shower in his swim trunks and rubber boots. So that's where that came from.
Thank you. We had a similar question, which maybe if you just want to add a little bit about this, from Lily. What, if anything, was the inspiration behind your plays? Anything specific?
The contemporary one is me thinking about a lot of the friends I have who are in this situation. You know, they just poured themselves into preparing intricate performances that aren't going to come to be. Mm-hmm. And the just incredible sadness over that I think deserves to be honored, even in the midst of the very profound material sadness that the whole world is going through, the profound medical sadness, the profound human sadness. I mean, everything, it all merits our grief, the small and the large.
Thank you for that. All right. Another question from Lily. Hi, Sebastian. Please tell us more about yourself. I don't know. I'm an actor, and I have done theater for almost a decade, and now I'm moving into film. It's cool. I feel like I'm not really one of the artists, so I would like to keep this more focused on the artist's work. But yeah, something about me is I'm an actor, and I do other art things, like I sing and specifically do musical theater stuff. Yeah. And fun fact about me, Alexandra's my sister. Yeah, she didn't know that. Anyway, all right. So next question. Question for both of the actors. How was it to do these types of intimate plays via video without having met?
Oh, Kevin, you're muted.
Well, I was trying to let you go first.
Oh, I think it was really fun. Obviously there's something really special about being in the theater and actually being able to interact in person with your castmates. But I think it's also kind of a wonder that we're able to do this via video, and that there can be so much, like we can still be on top of each other in terms of like picking up our lines from each other. And yeah, I think it's definitely a unique experience, and something that I know everyone is adjusting to. There's so much great live art going on via video, and I think that just is a testament to the creativity of artists that we're able to bring ourselves together to create something even when we can't be there in person.
Yeah, it's been great fun for me. I did not expect to have a project of this nature. I was thrilled to be made a part of the project, and all the same rules seem to apply. Be nice, smile, listen, 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 and when you have an idea, go for it. And it's been a very, very generous production. Everybody's made room for each other, so it's been a fun experience.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I love that. Those were wonderful answers. Okay. Next question to Eli and Michelle. Have you ever painted and played together before?
Definitely, yes. So Eli and I are actually pretty good friends. When you say Eli?
Yeah, I guess now we used to work together.
Yeah.
We were baristas at Convoy for a year and a half, which has now closed down due to COVID. But yeah, we've done a bunch of shows together, in addition to working together.
If you want to put me on the screen, I do have one of Eli's like recent masterpieces. This is Eli's. It's hanging up in my apartment. It is me, and of course my camera is like not behaving right now, but he drew this at his open, what did you call it, open studio sessions back in January?
Yeah, that was like a 4-hour charcoal piece with Michelle playing concertos the whole time. maybe not the whole time, but yes, we've definitely worked together.
Oh yeah, my favorite artist in Seattle by far.
That sounds like such an amazing experience to be able to put those two art forms together. That's fantastic that you're able to do that, and that you're such good friends and can work together as friends and as artists. You know, it's a lot of fun.
It's been really fun.
All right, question for Eli. Have you always done painting, or did something in particular get that started?
Not really. I started drawing. Oh, I'm seeing correcting to live painting.
Have you ever done live, or have you always done live painting?
So I started out doing mostly life drawing at life drawing sessions with models and like figure drawing classrooms. And then I sort of started moving away from doing those because they can get expensive. And I just started drawing at different variety shows, drawing different musicians and performers. And it was really fun. People really take to it, and it's a challenge to draw people while they're moving and while they don't necessarily know that you're watching them. But I've really taken to it, and now that's sort of my primary art form, is drawing live from vision.
That's really cool. How long have you been painting for?
Painting probably about just since art school. I don't think I painted before art school, so about 7 years. I maybe 8 years. I started art school in 2012.
That's great. All right. So question to everyone, and I think this is going to be our closing question. how has the pandemic impacted your artistic practice? And also, what do you see in the future for your artistic practices? We can start, whoever wants to start can go for it.
Well, I just want to say thank you to Pam, because she clearly is not blocked as I am. I have felt blocked. With so little to do, I find myself unable to do much at all. And so I tell myself I should be writing, I should be doing a lot of different artistic things, and I don't. And so I really appreciate this venue, this event, because in the future, I don't know. I look forward to a live audience someday. I'm going to hug everybody in the seat that's in the audience.
Kevin, I'm glad you could make it.
Thank you.
And I'll keep going from there, piggyback on that too. Thank you so much for getting all of us together. And those of you who are watching don't necessarily know the story that the artistic director and planner of all of this, Kymberlee, asked me a few weeks ago, I'm trying to remember when it was, did I have a couple of short scripts I could send her? And I assumed that it was for her family to act out because they've done that before. And so I sent her some stuff. And then she surprised me by saying, hey, I'm putting together this art event, and there that I was there in the program. So that was a, a really lovely surprise. This whole weird time has in some ways not been very different, and in some ways been entirely the opposite of usual. I find that there have been a great many calls to do online programming of different kinds. My writing group gets together via Zoom now, and I love that more of us are able to meet than usual to actually kind of be in the same space. So that's been a plus. Yeah. And just gonna keep on making poems and plays and try and get my novel out there.
Does anyone else have any additional thoughts?
You know, for music, live performance was like my favorite way of performing. So it is difficult now that I can't have live performances, especially because I love playing in restaurants and like background music while people eat and just enjoy their family. So that's had to change a little bit since all of the restaurants had to stop serving customers altogether or at sit-down environments. So I have had to move on to almost completely online platforms. So I've done live streams like this twice. And I also, on a crazy stroke of genius or stupidity or whatever, I managed to record an entire album and put it on Spotify. So it gets my music out there still, but I look forward to the day that I can play for people live once again, for sure.
Hey, can everyone hear me? Okay, good. This is Kymberlee behind the scenes here. I want to say that I have had the joy of hearing Michelle's album on Spotify. And there's a link to it below in the program that you can just listen to it. And then of course you can also, pay her for it if you like. But it's really beautiful. And there are also links for everybody, for most everyone, where you can find them, where you can find their work. And so I recommend that you check that out. And I also just want to say thank you all profusely, the audience, for trusting us on this journey, for trusting us to come here. To do this with us, showing up. and also, of course, all of the people who showed up to be artists. And it was just a big trust fall, I think. And I'm pretty stoked about how it worked out. So thanks to everybody so much for being here. And I'm going to mute myself now.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you all so much. This has been pretty incredible. I mean, I've been, watching and obviously participating a little bit, but it feels pretty incredible that we're able to bring this to people and to be able to continue our artistic practices on a virtual platform. So Eli, would you show some of your art that you did tonight and explain the auction?
Totally. So there's a bunch of sketches here. I really liked this one. The auction, let's see. I guess I'm not quite sure. I think we're gonna put them on Kymberlee's website to auction off if people want to buy them. And that should happen in the next 24 hours here. Some of it was really hard, so I only got a couple of those, but then I did a couple of these little self-portraits. More used to those. Nice, that was like 10. Now I have like 20 of Michelle here. But I was sort of struggling with Michelle and the cello. It's live drawing is so much fun because you see everybody right there. And so I've sort of been struggling drawing online because it's this very limited, narrow view of somebody. So it's like, oh, that's all I get to draw. Okay, I sort of like this one. Michelle says she loves that one. This one was fun, sort of switch the brush up a little bit. I should have been counting these. I really like this one of Pam. A little bit more abstract, Pam. And I think that's all of them. I had a couple junk ones that I threw, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So how's the auction going to work? And I know you have some information on where the proceeds or whatever is going to, the money going to go from that?
Yeah, so there's 18 of them here. I'm the auction. So let's see, it's going to be on Kymberlee's website, and I think it's just going to start at $5. 10% of it will go to Real Rent Duwamish, which is a great organization. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. It's realrentduwamish.org. And they raise money for the Duwamish tribe, who's not federally recognized, so they don't receive things like tribal funding. So they collect this thing called Real Rent, which they ask residents of Seattle to pay. So we're going to donate 10% of that to Real Rent and then split the rest of it between the artists. So check that out.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much today. All right, so
Yeah, thank you.
before we say goodbye, we're going to let's first have all of the artists give a bow from where you are in whatever capacity that is for you. Wow, a wonderful. Oh, yes, a little
Yes.
flourish. Yes. All right. And you can, once again, you can find all of these artists, their information, or where you can find them, where you can find more of their work, and ways you can send them some money individually on the program page. I mean, on the event page in the program with all of the artists. And that's all we have. Thank you so much for trusting us and coming and joining this experience with us. Thank you to all the artists. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night and rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.